Darn it. Right. Hello. Welcome to the MFP Report for um, a 2000 Friday, July 28, 2016. This report, I will be talking about some info. Well, I will be giving it happen, in different things. So it's basically an opinion. Uh, uh, First off, for some name it it's not giving me a time limit. So anyway, uh, I'm just this is open source productions right here for now. But other Facebook Live and later on tonight. So Arrow do and I just wish they would have done this before, but I guess they had to work up to it. I would assume that he's going to start training William. Oh, and one other thing, I'd love to see them kind of play to pay a tribute to AU and maybe uh, uh, have a cop or have a DA Donna Nance. Now, you may ask yourself, who is Donna Nance? Donna Nance was a character Justice League episode when Lantern, Flash, Hawk Girl, and Jones went to that was kind of was winky wonky the way they did it because they said it was a psychic tie between the writers of it was a it, it would happen on another Earth and it was how she was as the Black Siren. She didn't have the but Black Canary in the Golden Age didn't have the Canary's Cry. That didn't come on along until later on, And the fact of the matter is that that was, that was a power that con into the Black Canary. Well, what I would like to see happen is Donna Nance, who's obviously a version of Dinah Lance, uh, you know, and be a cop or a or you know, that's what I like to see there. I'm still hoping beyond hope. I know in Supergirl, uh, excuse me, we're gonna get uh, 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 um, uh, Erica Durance, who played Lois Lane in Smallville, as the hologram of her. What I would really like to see is Tom Welling role as Superman, or can't say Superman. I know they probably can't do that because they probably have to pay and Malar and had to do with that series, but I'd love to see something like that. I mean, they could absolutely have Barry meet up uh, or Impulse in terms of my ear. This is me in terms of, and as they meet up, well, what we get then get meeting, but of an extra character come in, basically. That'd be Elena Hubbard, who played Black Canary, come with her, um, you know, across the earth. Now, in the comic books, in the comic season 10, 11, whatever season they're on in the comic books, Kyle Gallner, Impulse, Bart Allen, but that absolutely work around that if they did that. And you know, maybe have close, you know, maybe even have her show up. Uh, Not likely to happen, but who knows? You never, ever, ever say never in these type of things. You just don't. Matter is it could happen. Now, there are other things that I like to see in this universe as well. I mean, I like to see. They control. They've never showed this, but the Stan Lee version, Mary Maxwell. I'd like to see that happen. I have an idea. I have to kind of. They would kind of have to get with, but I've said this before in DCAU, they teased a great many things, you know, which is a relationship upon Giganta and Wally West. And I'd love to see that. I mean, you could absolutely, we have one of the tallest actors in the world, and Hayward, who would absolutely make a good. She would also absolutely let's call her Wendy West, or something like that. You know, to see, I love to see. There are they're gonna stick to the 52 thing because not ripping on it, but kind of 52. So they're probably just to the 52. So I mean, and we've only seen, we know that they're two, which is Supergirl's Earth, and Earth Jay Garrick's Earth. I mean, next time we don't know. We know Jay Garrick exists there, and Alan Scott exists there. We don't know which. We don't know if of the Justice League, if any of the Justice Society there, we don't know. In Jay Garrick's, if Jay Garrick's all run part of the Justice League, Wonder Woman, Superman, Batman, that Batman, and we got a good feeling that Batman does for those up, but we're not sure to figure out. But again, and still another thing we need to figure out is this: in terms of the Legends of Tomorrow, is there only one version of the team, or is there 52 versions of the team? An infinite number of versions of the team? I mean, yeah, you could have on the team. In some Earths, White Canary may not exist. Only one daughter about Robert, and we know that Moira on Smallville, Moira Lantern's Green Arrow's guy, their mother, it was Chloe Sullivan. It was Sullivan, and we know that also that it marrying Green Arrow, but that's neither in there. I'm just wondering exactly how many versions of the Legends exist. I mean, how many does one version of yeah, Hunter without his memory and all that stuff, and I could consider a version, but I'm talking about one Rip Hunter on this Earth, and one on Supergirl's Earth, and one on Earth 3, and one on Earth 2, Earth 38, and one on Earth 56, and one on Earth 61, and so on and so forth, to where there's 52 to Rip Hunters. Be one of these things where if things go awry with the timeline and do they have to correct that problem? Way to say, well, you're gonna way of correcting. Oh, there we go. Do they have a way of correcting them? You know, in terms of getting that done, and in terms of time or messed up timelines or whatever on the other Earths. I know we know for a fact that they can do it on Earth One, Canary and Firestorm and Hawk Girl and Hawk and you know, Heat Wave and Captain Cold. They were all there. Captain Cold got killed, but that's neither here nor there. They could go around and correct whatever was wrong with the timeline. Now, when you try to correct something, probably cause problems in other ways. The timeline. I'm just wondering, just case, then what? Then what? Then do the and do teams on all these earths, who's on those teams? I mean, and I mean, we haven't been introduced to any of the Wonder Woman, Wonder Girl, Donna Troy, and Cassie Sandsmore introduced to whereabouts in the timeline of Earth 38, but they obviously it's either before or after Superman, the Doomsday incident. We don't know if it's before so-called killed, then you know, I mean, then you can have the Eradicator, and you can have Irons, and later on you can have Natasha Irons, just a bunch of different people. So if Connor Kent exists, Boy Kal-El, Superman, Superboy Kal-El does exist. I have to travel back to show him, and this is a show on Supergirl, but I'm just talking about characters that exist and acting timelines of the, and we don't know. I've never been to Comic-Con, and I've never been able to ask Guggenheim and the boys and girl peddler. I guess I would have to stick with Guggenheim and stuff. I would have to say time. In general, versions, the legends are there. One, or are there multiples? that. You know, there are 4 Earths counting Earth 1. 1, Earth 2, well, for the lack of a better term, Supergirl's Earth are Earth 38. Now, in all those Earths, Earth 1, they exist. But on the rest of the Earths, Legends of Tomorrow exist. And if they do exist, you might probably have not thought who would be on their team, who would be on their teams. An interesting question for the to kind of think about. Exist on the other play of legends, not the legends, but just a team of legends on the other planet, on the other Earths. And question: who's on those teams? You know, we don't know. I mean, well, that Jay Garrick is there, but we don't know past with Jay Garrick. You know, you never addressed the fact that he does have a wife in the comics, but does he have a wife on Earth 3? We know Allen had a wife. He had Nora Allen. Last name was Garrick, but we don't know, and that's the name of his wife is Joan. We don't know if Joan Garrick exists, and we know that another thing we know that in the comics, Joan Garrick is not stated that they had a child. Something was wrong with him, with her. We know that they were still young enough after home from World War II to have a child, but we don't think that he had a child. Either something was wrong with him, she was barren and she couldn't have. I don't know. I don't say, and we know for a fact that Alan has kids. That Wally West has kids. Now we don't know anything about Bart Allen's. We know that he has parents, but we don't think that quiet on whether or not he got married or not. And we know that he died. We don't know if he got married, but we do know that Wally West has kids. Depending on who they are, and depending on which storyline they are, the different names. The same thing. We do know that he has kids in different storylines. They go by different names. The fact of the matter is no, we just do not, and I'd like to see at some point Barry Melville's Earth, using the same city. They're already using almost the same. I mean, you look at some of those buildings around and you give them a different look, and you're looking at 6 years ago. 6 years ago? 6 years ago. To get 10 years ago, you have to go out looking at the farm, the farm where where Smallville was supposedly located, the farm was the Kent farm and all that stuff. You'd have to look at all that. But in terms of the big cities, Star City, Central City, and Smallville. You mentioned one. They mentioned one, I think, but if it really existed in there. Yeah, they have those two. They could absolutely send if they want. I understand that they don't want to tie it to it, but until they do, they're going to get these kind of questions. Well, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You know, I mean, are you ever going to have impulse? Are you going to Earth? Are you going to do this? Are you going to do that? You got to find a way to work. Go to Smallville's Earth and selling. Justin Hartley, Al Gardner, going down through the cast, so on and so forth. And it's those questions are going to fans of both let's call it both, are going to all the time ask, when are you going to do this? When is it going to happen? Is it going to happen? As soon as possible. And look, a lot of those actors, other than Justin Hartley, right now, yes, it's doing his band thing. I don't. Tom Welling tried to get another TV show off the ground, but it didn't work. With Draft Day, Sullivan, whatever her name, I'm blanking on it. It's not done very much. Yeah, she's done some voice work. Done very much. Justin Hartley's been on some soaps here and there. Relatively busy, you know. The guy who played Ollie's been at the guy who played in Smallville tragically passed away. They would do something with it. They may or may not want that guy. If they ever do something with it. We know that Batman does exist in the Smallville universe. We know that exists. Characters, you know, Nightwing will exist, but she's not Batgirl. She's Nightwing. Don't know what happened to those other people, you know, and all I got right now, the MFP Report. You can find me on Twitter at what I am screaming that WordPress. Oh no, my bad. You can find me on Twitter at Cry at the MFP Report. My possible on Tumblr at Rock's Place, on Ram